Now, this is a film I've been curious about ever since they released the first teaser image of Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana in the upcoming feature film titled Spencer. To me, she was an interesting choice for the role, and for others it was a miscast because they could only think about her time as Bella Swan in the Twilight films. Coming off a breakout role in David Fincher's Panic Room, Kristen gained a lot of recognition for acting, but never received a major part until she auditioned for the lead role in Twilight. While a huge role for the actress at the time she was cast in the role, the franchise did more damage to the star's image, giving her a reputation that she's a one-note actor who is unable to emote properly, which is far from the truth. Now, I personally wasn't a fan of any of the Twilight films, even though I watched at least 3 out of the 4 movies they made. They were decent, but I definitely wasn't the target audience. Sorry, I'm not into the whole vampire romance. Having seen most of the films, I can't fault Stewart for giving an otherwise decent performance in the franchise. She was doing what she could at the time. Every actor has a starting point in a career where they take on a role that will propel them to even more worthwhile projects. Admittedly, I was someone who didn't care for the actress and would approach her films expecting them to be terrible. It was only after Personal Shopper that I saw her in a whole new light. The 2016 film was enough proof that Stewart was far from being a mediocre actress. She had the potential to soar even further, maybe even turn in an Oscar-worthy performance. Now that brings us back to her current project where she stars as Diana Spencer, the Princess of Wales and a former member of the British royal family, and the ex-wife of Prince Charles. Even without any extensive knowledge of the British royal family, most people would have heard of Diana and her tragic end, following a car crash in 1997. No matter how much time has passed, she has remained in the public consciousness, who have fond memories of the late princess. Diana was a philanthropist and humanitarian who changed the way royals were viewed. She was also the mother of Prince William and Prince Harry, who have since gone on to follow in their mother's footsteps to continue her legacy. Especially her charity work, which was a huge part of her efforts and an important aspect to her generous nature. They made her someone who many adored beyond her celebrity image. At this point in time, Diana's story has been covered extensively throughout the years, with countless films and television shows which explore her life. Most adaptations tend to put their focus on the lead up to her untimely death. This particular film won't be focusing on Diana's whole life. Instead, we'll be looking at 3 days. It takes place in the 90s and deals with the princess coming to terms that she's no longer happy or in love with her husband Prince Charles, who has grown cold towards her. At this point in their marriage, she's just putting on a brave face and doing her best despite struggling with being part of the royal family. From the trailer, it looks like we will delve deeply into her psyche like never before. Multiple mediums have attempted to show us Diana's turmoil over being in a royal family, but they haven't quite managed to explore it in a way that this film is getting up to in a truly unique character study. Looking at the trailer, it's clear that this film is not just putting out another mediocre movie that will fall short of capturing the reality of Diana's situation. Kristen Stewart is channeling the princess in what is already being hailed as a career-defining performance. The actress has done her research to prepare herself for this role and to really bring out the best performance she can for this project. While not resembling Diana, there are moments watching the trailer where I think she actually embodies her, to the point it doesn't matter if there isn't a physical resemblance. What matters is the acting, and Kristen is absolutely crushing it. She's nailed the accent, which is arguably the hardest part to get right. Even the best of actors can struggle with learning and perfecting an accent that's region-specific. Diana had a distinctively British accent that was unmistakable, so it was crucial for Kristen to nail the accent. No matter how much they make up to look like Diana with the hairstyle and wardrobe, it wouldn't be convincing if her speech pattern wasn't in tune with the princess. That would make the whole immersion fall apart. There's also the posture and mannerisms, which are all part of the performance. It's not quite method acting, but I'd argue she has completely transformed herself for this role, and that everything we see her doing as Diana is true to how the princess was in real life. Taking on this role and playing such a beloved figure is a tremendous task for the star. It is something that Kristen isn't taking lightly. She's put a lot of time and effort into making sure she does the part justice. Ever since landing the role, the actress has done research to enhance her performance, which meant looking at old interviews, pics, and anything she could find about Diana. The pressure is on her to get this part right. Fans of the royals and the princess are ready to slam the actress if she messes up. Some are not overly keen on Diana being played by an American actress, and would much rather have a British actress in the role. Traditionally, Diana has always been played by a British actress, with the exception of some incarnations. Even more recently, she was played by Emma Corrin in The Crown, who hails from England. Does casting a British actor make for a better choice? Some would argue that it does, and others would disagree. Getting an actress from the country would be a nice nod to Diana's country of origin, but overall it does nothing to ensure the portrayal would be any better or worse. The important factor here is the acting and the talent, whose background isn't crucial to playing the role. As long as the actor is able to give a convincing performance, then it shouldn't matter if they're from England or America. It's not up to anyone but the filmmakers to decide who is best for the role, and in this instance it was Kristen. While an unconventional choice for the part, she was the perfect fit for this project, and the Diana they wanted to portray. Already there's talk about her being a frontrunner at the Oscars in the Best Actress category. I couldn't be more excited to see her get a nomination and even win the award. Although it's too soon to say if she'll be guaranteed to win, there are plenty of other actresses vying for the top prize with performances to match Kristen. So best of luck to her. I'll be rooting for her all the way to the big award ceremony next year. I know it will seem optimistic considering I've yet to see the movie to properly critique her acting, but I'll give you a valid reason that strengthens my argument. Even before the glowing reviews, my faith in the actress and her ability to headline a film of this caliber has been in due part to Pablo Larraín, the director behind Spencer. His filmography speaks for itself and shows he is more adept at making biographical films centered around historical figures. The Chilean filmmaker directed Natalie Portman in 2016's Jackie, which earned the actress a third Oscar nomination. Portman played Jackie Kennedy, the former First Lady and wife of US President John F. Kennedy, who was famously assassinated. The film explored the aftermath of the president's death from Jackie's perspective. What makes it so hard-hitting is the fact that Jackie was in the company of her husband during his murder. It's a traumatic moment that causes her to experience a long period of depression. The way the director explores that in his film and his ability to put you through that experience is what makes for a captivating film looking at something that's tragic yet powerful with the lead's performance. If the filmmaker was able to get Portman to deliver one of the best performances in her career, then it's likely he'll be able to do the same with Kristen Stewart. While both are at different stages in their career, something that's comparable between the two women is the bad rap they received after taking on roles that ruined the public's perception of their acting ability. Portman most famously for the Star Wars prequels, which she eventually bounced back from with future projects. Kristen is now facing a similar situation that even after countless films under her belt, the general consensus is that she is a terrible actress. The problem is that many people have been so put off by her in Twilight that a lot of her later work has gone overlooked. After wrapping up the franchise, she has put her efforts into starring in movies that are far less mainstream and have more of an emphasis on acting and telling unique stories. Much like her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, she has become a significantly better talent by tackling a variety of roles in independent films. It has helped to improve her craft and to show that she has far more range than people give her credit for, and at this point we should acknowledge her growth. It really is a shame because she's brimming with so much talent. Yet people who haven't followed any of her other work have failed to see how far she's come since her Twilight days. Kristen is a completely different actress who is far more versatile in just about anything she delves into. Just the fact that studios and filmmakers keep casting her in movies and are happy to work with her should speak volumes as to the type of talent she brings to a project. She's not just getting by based on her looks or connections. I'll say it again, it's a talent that keeps getting her work in the industry. So before slating her based on something she starred in over a decade ago, get acquainted with the recent work she's put out. They're not all slam dunks. Looking at you, Snow White and the Huntsman, but you can definitely see she's trying. Maybe this will change your feelings towards her, or maybe not. I know for some people they just can't change their feelings towards certain actors, no matter how much other people might adore their work or the talent themselves. So it's okay to still dislike Kristen if that's what you want to do. It doesn't take away anything from her or anyone that likes her as an actress. Come this November, everyone will finally get a chance to see her in a whole new light. Once Spencer gets released to the general audience and people see what critics have been raving about in those early screenings, it's more than just hype or being biased towards the film because it's a Princess Diana movie. Much like the previous films based on the princess, it will be judged fairly and called out for being terrible if that's the critics' opinion. I strongly believe this will change the general perception of her Stewart and make more people acknowledge her and even speak to why she's an understated talent in Hollywood. Maybe after this more people will be inclined to be less harsh on the actress. As a fan of Kristen, I'm looking forward to Spencer and seeing the impact it will have, not just on her image, but her career going forward. It's sure to propel her career in a whole new direction that would land her even bigger roles that are more prestigious. Although seeing how she seems to be thriving by following her own path, does she really need to make any significant changes to her career? She's already making strides in her career to the point she might earn the highest honor an actress can receive. Getting an Oscar nomination isn't an easy feat, neither is winning the award. Regardless if she doesn't win an Oscar for Spencer, she will surely get one at some point in her career. Mark my words, the future is bright for Kristen Stewart. She will only continue to show up on naysayers and prove she's a credible actress. Spencer will be released exclusively in theaters on the 5th of November. Although that might differ depending on the part of the world you're living. Not to mention this is an art house type film which is sometimes limited to specific cinemas. So what are your thoughts on Kristen Stewart as an actress? Also, are you looking forward to seeing Spencer? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways folks, that's all for now. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to subscribe, like and comment below. And hey, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea. And that's okay. Just remember to take care and stay safe.